Welcome back to another episode of Creative Lens. And it's a Sunday. We're about to get into June. The weather's shifted and changed a bit. And yeah, we're back with yet another exciting episode, another exciting guest. This young man is an individual I met outside like everybody else. And his work is phenomenal. Watching his dedication, watching him grow, showcasing his work from the Broke Boys, Milk and Cookies, to personalized animations of creatives that he's partnered with. Very funny guy, loving guy, kind all the way. My little brother, young Baid, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
How you feeling?
I'm calm, passive.
You're calm.
Sorry, but let's cook.
How's been your day?
Sorry?
How's been your day?
It's been, my car's broken, so I had to take a walk to the shops and all like that. Kind of tiring, but I had to pull up, man.
You had to pull up? No, man. And how's been the weekend?
Calm. I was working yesterday as well, so.
I working on some cool stuff.
Yeah, can't talk much about that.
Mr. The NDAs are out and everything else. No, man. Look, it's good to have you on the show. You know, I think as we were chatting earlier on, the purpose of the show, the podcast is really a community. It's for us creatives within the city of Cape Town to share our stories, man, about what we do, how we got where we are, and the bigger picture is really to encourage upcoming creatives, the youth, in terms of there are alternative ways that one can make an income. Maybe let's just start all the way from the beginning. Tell us more about your upbringing and yeah, let's start there.
All right, so Young Baid, let's go to that.
Yeah, let's go to Young Baid.
Days before Art by Baid. So originally I was a musician.
Really?
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know that, but I started out making music, and that time I was at campus, I was studying civil engineering, right?
Yes.
And that was something that my parents wanted me to study because they were like, you gotta go study this, study that. And for me, that wasn't really what I wanted to do, right? But I did it anyway because I wanted to make mom happy, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It wasn't doing good. I had to drop out, you know. But that's when I started making music. And from there, I used to draw my own cover art, right? So on the backtrack would be a cartoon of myself. And all of that was done on my phone. That time it was a Samsung, I think it was a Pocket, those small.
Oh, those small little ones.
Yeah, so I used to do the digital art on there already, like using PixArt. And funny enough, that got more attention than the actual music itself. You know what I'm saying? Because people would always want me to like. So I was making more money from drawing the cartoons for artists than actually getting features.
So how long ago was this? Maybe
that was about 2018, 2019.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah,
that was before COVID. Yeah, that was pre-COVID.
Then COVID hit. I wasn't studying. I was working a retail job.
Okay.
So after I dropped out, I went to work at a clothing store.
Yeah.
I'm still there currently, but just now I'm a store manager. But back then I was just starting out. So COVID hit. I was at home chilling. There was no studio because like I had to be inside. And that's when I actually locked into the art because there was more time for myself to draw and stuff. So
yes.
I started drawing cartoons back in COVID, and I started the Art by Baid page that time as well. But my focus was more towards the music artists. So I would draw like Costa Titch, Casper, and those people. Like that was the I didn't know the target market. I didn't know the creative scene.
Yes.
It was just the music that I knew, and yeah, that's where I started.
So this is hone in a bit to the drawing part. At what point did you start drawing? I mean, at what point, you know, sometimes when you're just doodling and doing stuff, at what point did you know that I can draw?
It's been since like primary school, because like we all had that time. There was always that one guy in school that would have that file,
yes,
that file with the Dragon Ball Z cartoons inside.
Yes.
And Naruto cartoons. I was that guy.
Okay.
And since then, like people always recognize my art. Like I draw the people in my class. Like I'll make a class list of all the people, like cartoons and stuff.
Wow.
And that's where I didn't realize it was something worth money that time.
Yeah,
but
just passion.
Been there, yeah.
So you self-taught?
Yeah, everything is self-taught. I never
wow.
like that.
Yeah, so okay, cool. So let's just go back to home after hours outside school. So would you be sketching all the time? How was it for you?
I think the way my mind will operate, like even while I'm in class, like my mind would slip away and I'd just draw something in my textbook or something, or draw on the desk. It's always like something that was always there, but I never realized it was a part of me.
Yeah.
Like it's just something you do. Like you don't pay too much attention to it at that time. So I didn't realize it until people started reaching out to me for it. That's when I knew that this is actually something I should lock in.
Yes.
That's where.
Okay, so the young Baid page. At that point, what was the sort of like your artistic view there outside the drawing, or your young Baid page on that side? I know you're doing music, so were you just expressing yourself, etc.?
I feel like that was just me, basically. The young Baid page is just myself, and there was like SoundCloud rapper era type.
Yes.
So I was like wearing those SoundCloud rapper glasses.
Do you still have a page?
Nah, I took all those pictures down. My SoundCloud is still available.
SoundCloud. No, so the SoundCloud link is somewhere here on the link. We'll share it. We'll share it. Okay.
Like,
so were you a rapper or R&B? What is it?
It was more of melodic rap.
Melodic rap. Okay.
That type of vibe.
Okay.
Heartbroken stuff.
So okay, cool. So now you're drawing on COVID. At what point? What was that first image that you drew, and you were like, that made you say, "There's some money in this"?
So, like I said, I started with the cover art, right?
Yeah.
I did some cartoons, and the first person that reached out to me was actually someone big, DJ PH.
Okay. Yes.
So he reached out to me. He told me like, he needs this done. For me, I was like, nah, I can't do that, man. Because like now you established artist asking me, and I was like, I'm doing this stuff on my phone. Like, I didn't see money in it.
Yes.
Like, doing it on my phone. And then I was like, nah, man, I can't do it. And he's like, you're going to do it. This is what I need. This is what I do. And I did the cover art, and you paid me a big bag for it. I was like, damn. There's money in it. There's money in this thing. This is just not cartoons. I'm like, hey, this is actually money. So the song had Casper Vest featured on as well. So
okay.
For me, that was a big platform that's when it started making money. So then everyone would hit me up from that cover art.
Yeah.
And still recently, the most recent cover art I did, I think, was for Ziggy.
Yes, I did see. Yeah.
I still have that connection to the music scene.
Yes.
So like all the artists, they still follow me. They still see the page growing and stuff like that.
Okay, so so at this stage now, we'll come back to now. But when you did the PH cover at the time, and you started to realize that there's work, were you at mentally at this stage? Keeping in mind, again, you said you dropped out of school at the time. You're going onto this journey. It's COVID, and you've done this piece of work. Where's your headspace at this time?
So that time I was really confused. I didn't know what to do next. Like, how do I get more of this? Like, how am I gonna reach to more clients and stuff? And that's when I started like drawing people and reaching out to people, ask them if it's okay if I can use them as a muse, draw them, and they would like share the work. So like Flame,
yes,
Costa Teach, all of them, they would reshare the work I did for them. So I felt like, okay, this is going to create a lot of traction and I can start making income from it.
Okay.
But at the time, I wasn't charging much. It was like, what, 300 rand a cover art?
Yeah, I hear you.
And that's with the free promo video. But like, rappers, bro, they don't really have that they don't really have that bag.
I know, but you know what's crazy is, from a cost perspective, I guess we all have that. Whenever you start the 300 rand moment, right?
Yeah.
To now 30,000, right?
I was like, ish. I'll send you the quotation.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. So this is COVID time.
It's after COVID. So I started the page in COVID, but it continued.
So how was COVID for you throughout that era? Do you believe that maybe were you learning the skill? Were you perfecting it?
That was the time I really locked in. So like I used to do it, but it wasn't focused. But in COVID, I was really into it. I had the page up. Started posting, getting the reshares. So I felt like COVID was the perfect opportunity for me to realize that this is the passion. This is where I should be at.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy how a lot of things were born out of COVID.
Yeah, true.
And I think there's a trend. So many things actually happened. The mixed DJ era also kicked off in COVID. People were dreaming like, obviously, the famous one would be Major League DJs. But a lot of things were born out of COVID. Influencers, exactly that.
That's where the time was.
That's where the time was, because that's the only way. Yeah, the only way brands could connect with consumers was through that. Oh wow! I mean, that's crazy. Okay, COVID comes, it finishes. Where is Young Baid at this time, man? I mean, like, where are you? Because I know when you're at home, they're always looking at you like, yo, my G, what's your plan?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, home, they're always like, what's your plan? And how was that part for you in terms of maybe even speaking to family to say, guys, this is what I really do? How did you have those kind of conversations?
At first, it was difficult, like trying to explain to my mother that I'm drawing cartoons for money. Because, like, in their mindset, you gotta be this, you gotta study, you know, you gotta be wasting your time doing this. Like, there's no money, and there was no money in the beginning. Like, even for my mother, she would always tell me, "No, you're always drawing, but I don't see any progress." I was like, just trust the process, man. Like, it's
our parents. I don't think our parents understand trust in the process.
They
I mean, they don't come from
man.
their generation that don't believe in trust the process.
They know what's going on.
They always want security somewhere. So you're having this conversation with your mom. How is it for you? How are you feeling emotionally? How are you mentally around that? Are you feeling the pressure? Seeing maybe mates doing other things?
Doing good, and it's like,
yeah, and you just hear like drawing cartoons, right?
I'm like, yo, I could have been that, you know. But so for me, it's like a lot of the homies that when I was studying, they were focused on their work. Me, I was on my own mission there at campus. Like, I wasn't really focused, but now I see them, they qualified engineers and stuff, and me, I'm just chilling, drawing cartoons. So for me, I feel like I was set back in life, but also I do see a future for myself in this art thing. Even though I have the 9 to 5 that I'm doing, but it's not yet, the art is not yet secure enough for me to leave that. And you know, because like there's a lot of responsibilities at home and stuff. So my mother, to understand that this art is going to bring money, like every week I got to be in an event because she's trying to understand why am I going out.
I know, right?
It's hard to explain because like now you have to tell her, nah, this one is having an exhibition. You want to show your support to others because you know once it's your time.
And that's the part that you have to show up for others.
That's the thing. And that's the hard conversation because like also being in a Muslim household, it's actually like on a first Thursday, it's like the weirdest time for a Muslim to be outside. And I need to be outside because like, so that conversation, it's a back and forth argument that we have, but
so then quick question based on that then, just to jump in, I don't just hone in. Maybe I guess how is it for you coming from a Muslim household and being in the space that we always connect? Because all your, for lack of a better word, your clientele is outside.
Exactly.
Right? How has that conversation been for you to almost say, hey mom, hey family, I'm going to go there on the first Thursday? And we know what happens on first Thursday, obviously, for lack of a better word. But how has that been for you to communicate that to your family?
I mean, it was challenging at first because, like I said, they wouldn't understand what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I try and show my mom, like, this is what's actually happening. It's an art exhibition. People are coming. I'm networking with people and it's creating opportunities. So, like, sometimes we always have to have the conversation. Like, I always have to remind hey, I'm going out Thursday, right? So
I know, right? And it's moms.
It's like, I'm going out Thursday. I know I'm a grown up and all of that, but
just
you just want to have that respect for your mom.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's the main thing. And she's, at this point, she's understandable now because, like, she see the money coming in. And
yeah, she sees the work.
There's always something that goes to her. Like, I always make sure that when I do get a bag,
mom,
I saw
hold
her
this.
mom as well. So
yeah. And it's crazy. And that also been the same. We all come from the place where, I'm going to use the word I don't never like using, black tax, you know? And it's just us as people of color, man, where we take care of our moms. We take care of family, like to your point, you know, like it's not different even in my world where when a young bag comes in, like, mom, yo, here's this young bag, you know, here's still something for you. And she'll be, oh, so you got it from doing that. Okay, I see. Mom, I was drawing. This is the money from the cartoons. Oh, okay. Then it makes sense. So you're going through this phase. How are you navigating as a creative? Yes, you're working. You've got a job that you work in. That's, you know, keeping the lights on for you at the time. How are you as a creative navigating this? How are you trying to harness and hone in your skills? Yes, you're drawing every day. Are you tapping into other communities? Are you watching YouTube? How are you leveling up?
Okay, for me, I'd like to be outside and actually experience what other people are doing as well. So like when there's events, I'm there, even though I don't need to be at the event, I just want to show my face just to see what's actually happening outside.
Yeah.
And actually network with people to see what's next for me. Because like there's always next.
Yeah, there's always next.
You're never like limited to something. There's always something more you can do, right? So like I try and just see what else I can do. Like from where I started drawing rap artists to where I am now drawing for big brands, I feel like I'm always hungry to learn like more. So I use YouTube as one of my sources. Especially when like now I'm trying to tap into animation, like moving cartoons. So like now I'm watching like maybe 2 minutes of a YouTube video just to see, oh, that's how you do it, you know?
Yeah.
There's that times where I sit at home and just be chilling at that. And then there's times when I have to like throw through the night because deadline is tomorrow and working tomorrow as well. So it's like, it's a hard balance.
Yeah, I know, it's a hard one. I mean, so shout out to upgrading the gear. I see the gear, the iPad. How has that been? Because this is why I'm bringing this up. As a creative, how important are tools to your workflow? I think that's really the question here. And for me, when I saw your story about you getting the iPad, it was a no-brainer. I was like, yeah, you're an illustrator. You need that.
Exactly.
So how important are tools in the space of creatives?
I feel like it's the most important thing. Like at first I didn't really pay much attention because like I wasn't locked into it then. So like throwing on my phone wasn't a problem. But it comes to a part where you're limited. You can't do certain things because you don't have an iPad. And the phone doesn't allow you to do everything that you wanted to do. Like you can check YouTube tutorials, you're not gonna find anything.
Yes.
Like, that's the limit. And then I needed to go beyond that limit. Yeah. Because now my mind is on, okay, there's more money involved in this. So how do I get to this? And that's where the tools come in. So like for me getting the iPad, I didn't spend any of my own money on it, like from my salary and stuff like that. It was
just
straight
the
from
jobs.
the art.
Yeah, from the art.
And I went to the store, I copped it. I felt so great because, like,
yeah, man,
making all this money just from drawing cartoons to go.
It's so fulfilling, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I accomplished something, like, you know.
No, it's such a good feeling, dog.
Really a good feeling.
Oh man,
yeah, it's really important because now I'm drawing on there. It takes me like half the time it took on my phone, and also the quality is a lot better than So, tools are really important.
Oh my word, man! And with that being said, do you have siblings? Or
I do have a younger brother.
Interesting. And what do you tell him all the time?
He's just like, he understands because like he's young. He knows what's going on.
He knows what's going on.
My mom, we have to explain, but like, you would see me going out and he's always complaining like, why does he get to, you know, why does he get to do this and that? But like we have the conversation and he understands what's going on. So
okay. Cool. And with regarding the art, let's just go back to projects that you've been part of, and which are a million of them. Let's just go back. What is your creative process when you're working with other creatives to bring the idea to life?
I think the thing is we just have to be clear with each other firstly. So I normally expect them to give me a rundown of what they want. I don't really like to put my creative input in too much, like where I take full control of it. I like them to give me a run out what you want, more or less, because like at the end of the day we want both of us to be happy, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to like create something where you're not happy but I'm happy.
Yeah.
Or when I'm doing full control and I'm the only one happy and you're not happy. So I like that communication where we're on the same level firstly. So that's the first part of my creative process, right? So we got to be on the same page. And then also I have the step-by-step thing that I do. So when you are busy, when I'm busy with your work, I'd send you like progress on the way. So like I'll be like, this is how it looks now. Is there anything you want me to change? And then end of the day, the results are perfect because we had like those communications in between. So that, I don't know what the creative process is, but like, that's more or less what it is.
and a lot of your work, your earlier work, not earlier work, but still part of what you do. What's your relationship been like with the Broke Boys?
Broke Boys are family, man. So yeah. Actually, it's a funny story. Let me tell the whole story. How I met the Broke Boys.
How you met the Broke Boys? Because that's exciting.
Before, like, I knew about First Thursday and all of that. I don't even know Doc Deezy, my one homie, right?
Yes.
So me and him, we like back and forth. We always when I'm outside, he's outside with me. He's my neighbor. We studied together and all of that. So I didn't know he was in the creative scene as well. And I was at campus. He was also at campus, right? We took the same train to campus, but we never knew each other. And we were also neighbors, but we didn't like know each other. And then one day in a taxi, we started speaking on the way home. And he showed me something. I think it was a post of Great Africa. They were having a pop-up. I was like, okay, what is this? Okay, I went with him. Like, he invited me. I went with him. And then that's like when I first stepped outside, seeing the different type of people. I was like, okay, there's actually life outside, like, than what I normally know. It's like, so
everything happens outside.
Yeah. And then he invited me to a First Thursday that happened at Influx.
Yes.
Right? That was like before the whole clubhouse thing. So Influx, and then he told me like, just talk to the people, show them your work. I was like, okay, let me try. Because like me, I'm a shy guy. I'm just gonna be standing there. I'm not gonna tell you what I'm doing. That's the thing. And then I spoke to a guy, Ayanda from Kazad, owner of Kazad, right?
Yes.
I spoke to him, and when I was at the store, I saw the bro caps chilling there. Like that time, it was still chilling. Like people were not hyped up about it yet. I didn't know what it was, but I spoke to Ayanda. I did a piece for him. It was a Goku piece. I think it was waiting Kazad.
Yes.
Shared it, and then he wanted to pay me. I was like, nah, dog. I think he was working at Influx at the time, and I was like, just give me one of those B caps, man.
Yeah.
Like,
oh wow.
Give me one of those B caps, cause like Baid, B cap. Okay, I see the vision.
What
I didn't know
odds?
what broke was. Like I didn't know broke at all. And then at the time I was in a relationship, right? So I did a illustration of me and my girlfriend, or my ex-girlfriend. And
shout out to her.
On the cap, it had the B logo, right?
Yes.
So I drew that, and then Ayanda reposted. I was like, okay, you reposted. And then Ace saw it as well. And Ace reposted. I was like, yo, who's this guy? Why is he reposting? Like, why is he reposting a picture of me and my girlfriend? Like,
yeah, what?
And then the caption was something in Koza or something, but it said broke Popeye something. And then I was like, okay, I reached out to him. I followed him, and then I saw the Broke is actually his brand, right?
Yeah.
And that's when I followed the Broke Boys, and like I started to get to know them. And yeah, then I started doing more Broke cartoons, like wearing the Broke cap. So the first one I did was Broke and Brock from Pokemon. So like I did like a whole
yes.
Brock wearing Broke, and that got a lot of attention. And I felt like this cap that I'm wearing, it suits my character, right?
Yeah.
So I created a character based on wearing this cap, like the green Broke cap.
Yes.
So you'll see the character on most of my cartoons. So I felt like that is the persona, and since then I've been wearing Broke. Like,
wow, I mean, it's crazy.
That was way before the Clubhouse days.
Yeah, and it's crazy that we all have a Broke story. Like I shoot at We House Sundays, and I recall at some point I had a folder. I just kept seeing this B cap with everybody. Like I was like, what is this B cap? I started to put these people wearing this B cap in a folder. And at some point, I was at almost 700 images. That's how I also came across the Broke brand. Yeah, I was like, who are these guys? Like, and then
that's so different, man. Like, what I'm saying.
It's that. Wow. So your work, and I love the fact that your work it's really a Kryptonian thing. And sometimes I always ask myself, tell me the most Kryptonian thing that Kryptonians do from a culture perspective. And for me, sometimes it's Broke is one thing, That's a Cape Town thing. Your art, whether it's from photographic perspective, because I like documenting, I'm very obsessed about what you guys are doing. And I love how you tell stories that are relatable to where you come from and how you connect. How important is culture from a place of creativity for you?
For me, if you notice my page, like most of the stuff, I try to throw back to my culture, right?
Yeah.
So for Khaled, it's not like we don't have like this big culture that we can remember. It's basically things that we know growing up. So like Klopse.
Yes.
Klopse. It's like something we know. We don't know why it's there, but
we know
it's part of our culture. Like we gotta be there. Like
what's
at the end of the year, we have to be outside there with the club so people understand why we outside there. What's so fun about the carnival? It's like, that's the vibes. Also, Dominoes, it's like something, I don't know, I'd call it a colored sport at this point. It's like,
you're right, because I would like all my mates were colored. I played Dominoes is a thing that cars play.
So it's like a colored
and sport, it's in passion, and there's passion.
It's really passionate. I gotta lie. And then also like, besides that, it's also like Gatsby's and like stuff like that,
Yeah.
Pickle fish, all of these.
And that's what I like about your work, man. And that's one thing I've also seen is you pull back elements that are very unique to our city. But not only that, you're telling a story about where you come from in our city. And I also see the cooking part. Tell me more about the cooking element. I always see you making food, prepping. I see you with the samosa. I just see you making food all the time. Like, what's that all about?
So we're running back now to the Muslim household thing.
Yes.
So for me, my mom's a caterer, right? So she makes these things on a day-to-day. So That's also one of my side jobs. Like when I come home, it's like, Baid, you have to start frying the samosas. Like, okay, calm.
Yes, let's get to it.
Like
Yeah.
something I grew up doing from young.
Yeah.
Food has always been a part of me. Like you always see me chowie.
Yeah, because of your mom.
If
Okay,
I'm
that makes
outside for a
sense.
Thursday, I'm looking for a smash burger. Or something. Food is that. That's just food is a lot to me, man.
Oh man, like, and no, well, that's crazy. Come to think of it from that perspective, there. Let's dive in a little bit more deeper in collaborations. And are you bigger on what kind of collaborations do you like? Maybe let me start there. Not trying to compare any of the two or anything of that nature, but as a creative, sometimes there are always clients you enjoy working on. Like you can say, for example, I love shooting in dark spaces in clubs. I'm obsessed with low light and shooting in dark spaces. So it's like, as someone who's also creating, are you more big on artwork covers for artists, brand stuff, where if everything has to be perfect, not that there's one is better than the other?
For me, it's more. I prefer seeing my work. Like when we collabing, I want to see it, not just an Instagram post. Like a cover art is just gonna be certain people's gonna see it. Only the people who's listening to that guy's music is gonna see that cover art.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But for like a brand's perspective, like my work on a T-shirt, and people see it and feel it and touch it and be like, "Wow, this is crazy. Who made this?"
Yeah.
And I'll be standing there like, sweet.
Tangible stuff.
Yeah, something you can see physically. And from my first exhibition, that's like when I realized, I want to see my work out there, not just only on social media. Right?
I agree with that.
There's more people that interact with you. Like it's easy for someone just to like your post, and then for someone to tell you, "Yo, that's crazy."
To buy a print.
See, so there's more. I feel like physical engagement and seeing the stuff. Yeah,
there's more impact
that's
there.
Where it's at, man.
And then speaking of products, tell us more. Just walk us through your process with Milk and Cookies. How it came about, and what was your creative process, inspiration, mood boards to get to where we got to?
All right. So the Milk and Cookies one, like I've always wanted to work with Broke. Like you see me drawing Broke. And since the first pop-up at Broke where I had the art on the one side and then those frames, Ace hit me up. He's like, "Yo, you got some pieces to put up?" And I put up the 6 pieces, and that was fire for me. Like, but I always told Ace, like, "Hey, let's do a T-shirt design." It was like, "Your time will come. Your time will come.
Yeah,
when the time is right, we'll work." And I was like, "Okay, I just trust the process, you know." And then December, he hit me up, middle of festive, it's party time. The bro's like, "Bro, the time is now." I was like, "Okay, I'm down." You know, I'm down. But it's like, I have a deadline. You need to submit this. It's for Milk and Cookies. I was like, "What the hell's Milk and Cookies?" Yeah, I'm not a party person. In my research, I saw it was the catering out event. I was like, "Oh shit." Yeah. Okay, Broke, X Wanda, X Milk and Cookies, X Art by Baid. That was like, "Hey, how am I gonna do this, man?" So I didn't believe in myself, but AC was like, "You got this, man." And he sent me exactly what he wanted. He told me, "This is what I want. This is what I want," and they put the elements together. And in a week, I think we cooked it. Yeah, and then he hit me up. He's like, "Yo, it approved." I was so gassed. Like, I couldn't say anything to anyone. I had to just
How many rivets were there? Were there any rivets?
Not really. There was like a few minor changes.
Yeah,
like,
exactly that.
Just make this a bit smaller, make that a bit bigger.
Okay, yeah. The usual stuff.
Yeah. So that was a final product. And then also it was being sold at Milk and Cookies, which was crazy. Because like,
wow.
Yeah.
That's
how many people was in the, and that's at the entrance. So when you come in, you have to walk past it. So I feel like that was the biggest, that was the biggest accomplishment I made so far.
Man, that's dope. I mean, the work has been great from that perspective. And speak about earning and earning, yes, I strongly agree with you. As a creative, I'm looking to photo books, making those, because you need to make your art tangible, right? And with that being said, how has been the journey of self-promotion across social media, Instagram? How has that been like in terms of your art? Has it been an easy journey? And what are the learnings that you can share with us? I mean, for example, payments, for example, briefing systems. How do you see it now versus how you started? And if you have to give any advice, what would you suggest to people who are predominantly pushing their services and selling their skills via social media?
So the first thing you got to do, your mindset got to change firstly. Like, you're no longer an independent artist. You're now a business.
Yeah.
So once you start seeing yourself as a business, you'll start getting money as a business, right? I never used to do quotations and all of that. I just like, you'll DM me up to and I'll give you a price based on how I feel.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, 500 will do, man. 500, so I'll do it for 500, you know? So it's that. But now it's like, this is my price. I'm going to send you a quotation, exactly what you want. Yeah. You're not buying, that's fine. Up to you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really need that bag right now, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really focused on the bag, but I'm more focused on pushing out work that's going to stand for my brand. Like, I wouldn't want to do something that I don't align with.
Yeah.
So, like, beginning times, I'd accept everything. Like, I take every
cent,
rand, everything.
Yeah.
But now it's more like, is this gonna correspond? Art by Baid working with this brand, would it make sense for myself, for my page, and all of that? So I take all of that in consideration also. Yeah. So for a business perspective, that's the first thing you got to have, business mindset. Secondly, also how you display your work as well, and how your page is, and all of that needs to look professional.
Yeah.
So like I used to post crazy stuff on my art page, like I'd be bashing rappers, and then people would tell me like, "Yo, step back from that, man. It doesn't look good for your page, you know. It
for
doesn't
the brand,
align with your brand." I was like, "Okay, I see it now." OG was one of the guys who told me, "You gotta chill, man." Like I would beef him on IG, and he was like, "Dog, I'm not gonna beef you back, dog. It's not it's
not good for the brand.
It's not for the brand, you know.
Yeah,
beef me on your personal page." I was like, "Okay, now I see the vision."
Yeah.
So also like talking to other creatives that's already made it. So like push you up. I generally like if I see him outside, I'll generally ask him a question like, "What made you do that?" You know what I'm saying? Samurai for Rai. I got him at the Puma event, right? And we just spoke, like we just chatted, and just having that conversation with someone who's already been through what you've been. It's also like a shortcut for yourself as well.
Yeah,
you take all the tips, you see what they're doing.
Correct.
You try and do the same thing.
What's the crowdsourced information, data?
So that's a thing, and also networking with other creatives, that's the main thing. Like, and showing your support to others, because you gotta show support to get support. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when someone's posting something, don't be like, I'm not gonna share this. I'm not gonna like this. I'm there. I'm sharing everybody's things.
I know, right? Just say it.
Like, there's nothing for me to lose in sharing. You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't cost you anything.
Exactly.
Share our work, people.
Yeah. Creators need to. Yeah, we just need to stay together.
Oh man, I need to just discuss about the process on the shoot for A6. I love that. I love the work. I mean, obviously, you've been in front of the camera. Hey, you know, us shy people, we're not camera. How was that?
The thing is, the whole concept I had to come up with. So I wanted to understand, how does this align with my page, right?
Yes.
So as a graphic designer, why do I have a photo shoot on my art page, right? So I needed it to make sense. So I thought, I hit up Langa, right? I told him, dog, I have a project I want to work on with Essex, right? They'll send us some Essex, we'll sort this out. And then I hit him up, I told him, look, I need to come up with something that makes sense for this page, you know? And at the time, I didn't have an iPad, right? So I had to borrow an iPad from someone just to
finish.
Just to look like I'm doing something, you know? So like Young Coffee, Essex, Coffee, and the art, you know what I'm saying? So that was the thing we were trying to accomplish. So that's how that shoot came about.
Speaking of Langa, this is an open message to Langa. We need you on the show. Please do.
Langa. Pull up your necks.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like pull up your necks. And how's the relationship with A6 from where you stand as a creative?
For me, it's like, I like their work. I see them like my stuff. When they're giving out shoes, like for creatives, they're not shy to give me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also not the guy to ask.
Oh yeah, I know, right?
Like, you're gonna give me. But when you give me, I'm gonna make sure I do something with it. You know, show back the support.
Cool. And then we need to talk about something quite important: the video game. Wait, what's going on, man? Like I saw some dope content promoting, showcasing that work. Just if you can share a bit with what you can share, what's the idea behind that?
So for me, I was always into like the video games, you know, from a young boy standing in the corner shop with your 50 cents, playing your King of Fighters, and I didn't have a way to create a game, right? I had no idea what's going on. And then one of these homies threw me, right? That was November last year. Or was it? Yeah, around about November last year. one of them drew me like a pixelated Baid. I was like, hey, this thing is funny, man. I didn't take it too much attention to it, right? So that homie is color genius, right? He does pixel animations and pixel art. And then it didn't hit me then. But then I saw him draw Push You Up, and like the way his work progressed from that time to now it's like, hey, is this the same guy? I went back into his profile. I started looking at it. I was like, hey, this guy's progressing, right? And then I was like, yo, bro. I hit him. I slid him a DM straight. I was like, yo, bro, let's work. And for him, he only had 200 followers. Like, and now a big brand like myself reaching out to a smaller brand to work. I had to make it understand I'm not trying to use you. Like,
hey, you have to.
You know, because now it's like, this guy with a lot of followers is trying to reach out to me to work. So I hit him up with a offer, right? I told him, look, let's do something that creates, because you're colored, I'm a colored. Let's do something that would represent us as coloreds, you know? And the culture that we don't really have that background, like, but we have things that align with each other.
Yes.
So we have 2 projects coming. So the first one is the video game. The second one is a short film that we shot with, I can't talk too much about that.
Okay, but it's coming.
It's coming. A short film as well. Title, Gebas and Dams. So it's like Gatsby's and Dominoes. So that's coming.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so...
how colored is that?
That is like, yo,
I know, right?
I don't know if you saw the leak. I had like the old Balis wearing the pro caps, playing dominoes. That's crazy.
No, I need to see that. No, that's wild.
So that's coming, yeah. So that's coming. But the video game project, I hit him with the proposal. I was like, dog, this is what I need. So I can show you the DM. It's like, straight up told him exactly what I want. Like, this is the game I want. I want this, the beginning, the intro, the songs, the sounds to use. And like, he didn't trust himself with it. But I allowed him to cook, man. I was like, yo, do it.
Cook,
Cook, man.
Do your thing.
You got this. And then I just sent him the characters that I wanted. So I drew all the characters of myself. And I wanted it to be resolved around me. So like, I don't know if you notice, I have all the bro caps. So like, I wanted like each character to have a specific look to it, right? So I sent him that through and he cooked, man. But yeah, the DM was just telling him exactly everything I want and he cooked. Let me show you.
It's crazy how like the business you can conduct on these platforms, like from a briefing session all the way to execution. And I'm like, wow, oh wow, man. And no, that's crazy interesting, because that I like that, because I'm also really obsessed with video games, especially the retro stuff. I like retro. And when I saw it, I was like, wow, this is wild. But wild good, obviously, from that particular perspective. And Comic-Con. Maybe let's go back into Comic-Con.
All right.
May you tell us, just run us down, how was Comic-Con firstly?
That was my first Comic-Con experience.
Yeah, and how was that?
And I was sad that I didn't dress up. Like,
people dress up there.
Yeah, people went out.
They go all out.
Cooked. I felt a bit disappointed that I didn't dress up, but the experience itself was amazing. Like, seeing so many people liking the same things that you like. You know?
Yeah.
So like, you think that you're the only one watching these cartoons, these animes, and
but
when you come, there's actually a whole community, and people are so friendly and stuff. So it was an amazing experience, and also to showcase my work there was also another experience.
How was that? So how did you choose your pieces? How was that?
So for me, it wasn't actually Comic-Con reaching out to me, right? It was another brand, also colored on brand, Biscuit CPT. So that homie hit me up. Like, we've been trying to work on something, because like, he wanted me to be his graphic designer, but I told him like, I don't want to commit to one brand, you know. I like to be independent. And
I
like
want to do more than one
thing.
thing.
We had that talk, and then he's like, okay, I got an event coming up for Comic-Con. Can you create a story for me? Because like, you're doing your comic thing, but I need a comic as well for Comic-Con. So I was like, okay, let's cook. And he sent me like the details. Like, he'll just send me, you can add that screenshot as well. So
yes,
like,
the screenshot.
So he sent me like doodles of what he did, and I was like, okay, what is this? Okay, you want me to draw this? And then I managed to complete it, because like, it was a week before Comic-Con, and I did all the comics, and then he gave me tickets to pull up to Comic-Con, 2 tickets, and I pulled up, and the work was there displayed, right? As well as the logo that we created, the Comic-Con with the art by Baid and his logo as well. So having all of that there, and the first thing he told me when I pulled up was like, yo, dog, everyone's looking for you. Like, where
Where are you?
Because everyone's asking, where's Baid? I was like, they thought it was my pop-up. They thought it was my pop-up. I was like, dog, I'm just helping the homie out, you know what I'm saying?
No, but that's dope, man. And how you feeling about that in terms of, I think then it opens the second conversation around showcasing, around exhibitions.
Exactly. And I didn't know that people were exhibiting their art there as well. So now for me, I need to do research how I'm going to get there next year. Because like next year I want my art to have its own stand.
Yeah.
I can represent the colored culture and all of that. But
wow.
Yeah.
I guess that's all. And I love your line of work because I see posters. From a monetization, we're just talking about making art, posters, stickers. See my fridge over there full of stickers, right? And I just also feel these are also so many other opportunities. Where's your headspace and almost around those kind of things for you?
For me, I'm really taking it slow because like I don't know exactly where. Because now I'm seeing the other guys, what they're doing. And I don't want to really hop into it yet because I'm not fully committed to like having posters and where am I going to display the posters firstly?
Yeah, exactly.
How am I going to get it out there? Also like having my own merch. People like start a brand. I was like, nah, dog. I'm going to stick to what I know for now. For me, I want to go into animation like 100%. Like that's where I want to be at first before I have like a whole station where you can buy stuff from me. That's
so animation as in comics or animation really as in video moving.
Yeah, moving videos like where the cartoons are now doing something, you know, and then have like a YouTube page, maybe like creative scene, like you'll see the Bro Boys Clubhouse, a guy walking to Clubhouse and just experience the culture like from what we see, but in an animation version. So that's what I'm trying
That'll be dope though. Like telling stories through art about our communities. I'm obsessed with that, man. And I can see it already. What it to look like, you know, like walking into Clubhouse because we know the space like with our eyes closed.
I was standing there by the door stopping us. That's the vibes I'm trying to throw. Like, I want to get on that level, but for now, I'm just taking it step by step, man. There's no rush. Like, there's literally no rush. Like,
and another very important question, and this is again to everybody, but really just reading from your words. How do you deal with imposter syndrome?
Meaning?
No, imposter syndrome, just feeling that you can't do it.
Oh, how do I deal with it?
How do you deal with motivating yourself? How do you deal with, damn, man, I don't think I'm good enough for this. Because you mentioned...
A lot of times when you have that moment.
Yeah. You mentioned, the mate you mentioned right now with the 200 followers, the guy who the video came with. And
you need that someone who's going to tell you, you can.
You can, yeah. But how do you deal with that?
So for myself, like, there's a lot of times I tell myself I can't and I just back out completely. Like,
wow.
Because I just feel like the time is not right as well. Like, I had opportunities where I could have done something big, but because of the fear inside, I was like, let me leave it for now, man. My time will come. But I should have just take the leap, man.
I know, right?
Also, you just trust the process firstly.
No, you're not. So, but you know what they say, Baid, like they also say seasoned, experienced sailors are made at rough seas. To be an experienced boat person, you have to be out in the rough seas. And this is just that I'm just trying to say, in terms of the big jobs, right? To become seasoned, you also have
Throw
to
yourself out there.
You have to also throw yourself out there. And if you have to give advice to creatives, what would that advice be?
For myself, if I could tell myself this, basically, it's like don't feel limited. Firstly, like, and don't let the resources and backgrounds where you come from deprive you from what you want to achieve.
Yeah.
You put your mind to it, I'm sure you can do it. Firstly. And like for me, like I started on the phone, like thinking, drawing cartoons on the phone.
Yeah.
And that cartoon being at Milk and Cookies, selling out at Milk and Cookies.
Damn, right?
Like, in your mind, you think it's not possible, but like, if you really put your mind to it and tell yourself you can do that, that's where it's at. You know,
man. And what are you listening to right now?
I'm not really a music guy, but like, I prefer the music that I grew up listening to, like what put me into the music scene, like artists like Lil Uzi and Nav and all of that.
Okay.
So I'm still on that type of music,
That's your thing.
Yeah, I'll still listen to those classics.
Okay. And from outside drawing, outside the creative side of things, what else does Baid do? Are you a movie guy? What you watching on TV?
I'm a nerd dog, so so when I'm bored, like I don't have any creative direction, I'd play games on my iPad, dog. I play some anime game. I'd watch Netflix series. I'd watch anime. So I like sci-fi stuff. So like Ash and Pokemon, all of those things. That's
other kind of stuff.
And you'll see sometimes it will reflect in my work. So like the superhero thing, it'll come there in the work, The animations, the style of animations will also come in the work. So I feel like the work is basically myself in an art form.
In the art form.
Yeah.
Okay. And just to go back to people maybe look up to, are you constantly tapping into mentors? How's that process for you?
Tapping into?
Mentors, in terms of being a young, Do you have that support?
I do have that support, I can't lie. So like when I post, maybe like I'll post an accomplishment, for example, on my IG. Most of them reach out to me, like the people that I used to look up to is now talking to me like a buddy, you know what I'm saying? So like, Abe, Push You Up, Samurai Farai, they all like reply to my stories like, well done, bro, you're doing it, And that for me is like, I started out, I didn't know who you were. I started following you, looking at your work, and like got inspired, started doing work based on what you're doing. And now you and me, we're having the same kind of conversations,
We're just chilling.
I can get you outside, we can talk. Like, yo, it's like I'm there, but they like treat me like I'm there, but I'm not even there yet. You know what I'm saying? So like having that mentorship and someone that you can, maybe if I get stuck along the way, I can ask a question like, how did you get to do that? How did you get to Milk and Cookies? Not Milk and Cookies, Comic-Con. Like
Comic-Con, yeah.
He had his own stand there. So like for me, I asked him the question and he was like, tell me, you got to apply, you got to do that. And sometimes you need that person. So I want to be that person for other people as well. So like when people ask me what applications you're using, I don't be that guy in
gatekeeping.
It's like, I'll give you the applications, dog. I'll give you the free ones. I'll give you the brushes, everything you need, dog.
Yeah, and that's important, hey? And that's very important. Sharing the data is an element that allows communities to thrive.
Exactly. And also, it can also be a benefit to you one day as well. Like,
yes, exactly that.
Let's say, for example, you stuck on something, someone can show you something, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Vance.
Or you have a commission that you can't do right now.
You can do it.
You know you trust this person because you showed him the ropes, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I like to mentor as well, be the mentor for others, even though I don't really have that mentorship, but just to give it to, just not to gatekeep,
No, man. And just how is the next few months looking for you? I know you spoke about a few projects that you have.
I can mention a few.
Sure. So, how the next few months? Yeah.
In this month, I do have a poster, not a poster, but like a design that I made for Faro Africa. So they have a store opening in Joburg, and they sent me a picture of a wall, right? And Samurai Farai's work was on the wall. Like, we did this in one of our stores. Would you be able to come up with a concept for this store? So, knowing your work, do what you can, and then just create a concept. And that's when I came up with, I can't really show it, but I made a cartoon of myself, firstly, wearing the Pharaoh clothing, and then around me, a lot of other characters. So that's going to be on a massive wall when you come into a store.
Wow.
And it's an established store. So for me, that's coming in May. Yeah, end of May. Nice. And then I'm working on so this one is a bit different. So how did I get to it? I don't know how I got there.
But you're there.
Just from showing up at the parties, now I have to what's the name? How can I say? Like creative direct the whole event, basically.
Nice.
So it's one of our favorite parties. Yeah. I can't talk too much about it. Just know it's green and black. But yeah. Yeah. It's that.
Nice, man.
Like I said, the movie coming out. Form, nice. I don't really have much coming, but I do try and just
keep working, yeah.
Things, you know
and
what I'm saying?
Do you have any personal projects? I'm working on a book. like that's a personal project for me, and one that I'm kind of like funding. Are there any projects that you're working on continuously as you do everything else creatively?
Nothing at the moment. The video game was something I really was proud of, but for now, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. And like I said, the animation. So I'm really trying to first learn all of that, because in the future, I do see myself making like a series or something, an animated series.
I see that too.
Yeah, so that's where I'm trying to hit to, you know what I'm saying? And to get there, it's going to take some time, but I feel like that's where the bag's at.
So, so how's the animation journey going for you? Because now that you're now on the iPad, how is that process going for you?
Well, I tried something. It's just like a little eye movement thing, and it took a lot of time just for so just for that frame by frame thing. It takes a lot of time. But
it's a bit of work.
Have patience with it, man. That's the thing, and not give up on it, because like it's something I want to do. So yeah,
wow. That's just the process, as you said.
100%.
Oh man. And then if there's anything that you want to leave us with, what will that be? No pressure. No pressure. No pressure. No pressure at all.
Just believe in yourself, man. That's the thing. Like, your parents might not believe in you right now, but if you're gonna fall into that and be like listening to them all, you have to listen to them. But like, you also need to understand that you don't need all the resources, and you don't need to become an engineer or a doctor and all of that. It's more about do what you want, man. Like, and really put it all into it. So, yeah, this question got me off guard, but yeah.
And I know, because it's just speaking from the heart, man. But I just love the fact that believing in yourself, and between us, it's almost the key thing. Almost every other guest has mentioned there's so much power in believing in yourself, because we have a world where everyone is telling you that you can't do that. And over time, I've also seen a lot of times people will tell you what they fear. Not what to do. No, but you can't do that. It won't work. Right? But it's just because of their fear versus I can't wait for you to handle that and get it done kind of thinking. So believing in yourself, as much as it sounds as a cliche, but to be honest with you, for me, that's almost like the number one thing any creative should have. Believe in yourself. 2, believe in yourself. 3, believe in yourself. 4, believe in your fucking self. Like, I just really strongly believe that, because within the work that we do, Baid, and like you said, it's not monetizing upfront.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you've got to put in a lot of labor of love in the initial beginnings, right? And to get to a place where you can earn from it, that for me is gold. Where do you see yourself in 20 years?
An established, unqualified animator.
Nah, man.
Director.
For me, I believe the qualification comes from experience.
Exactly, man.
It's just that.
Thing, man. We just have to change the world's perspective.
Yeah, that's it. Like, you've done the 10,000 hours. You've proved beyond reasonable doubt through the work once there's motion, I strongly believe that will come, man. No, King, thank you very much for coming onto the show.
Shout out for having me, man.
Yeah, man. This has been an exciting episode. It took a minute to happen, but I always believe we're in the right place at the right time. That's what I honestly believe. We've reigned the next 3 days, allegedly. So you came at the right time, because also you came with the rain, and we need the rain. But I want to say, man, young Baid, man, I'm proud of your work. I love what you're doing. I'm really wishing you nothing but success. You are going to grow. You are going to do big things. You're going to continuously do the big things, dog. Thank you for being part of this culture. Thank you for being part of the community. Thank you for showing up, man. It's crazy, because showing up is a very hard thing to do. Because showing up it's a doing word. It's a physical thing. And you've got to show up and be there.
Exactly.
Right? So thank you very much for showing up, for the collaboration and pushing and just being open to building the community with us. And for us who are also leading this journey in the city, it's also quite important for us to continuously come together as a community to drive the creative culture within Cape Town. And your work is a testament of all that. So thank you for the work. Thank you for being you. And I love you. We all love you. Thanks once again. And this is Uncle Dyce, Malume. Young Baid was in the house. We out. Peace.